Hello everyone and welcome back to Navis Nobilite. Today I am continuing the ship overviews for the Craft World Eldar. And if you had watched my previous video on the Shadow Hunters, you're going to see a bit of a trend. Now, specifically, the Wraithship is the equivalent of, in effect, a light cruiser for the Eldar. It has excellent firepower, but it is, of the two cruisers, the less heavily armed. And that's not saying much. It's equipped to the teeth. Now, what do you get? It's 160 points. You have a cruiser with 6 hits, 10, 20, 25 centimeters speed. So reasonably slow for a lighter Eldar ship. Turns normal for Eldar, hollow fields. Armor 5 up. Everything bigger than an escort in the Craft World Eldar has 5 up armor. That's the number one advantage of the Craft World Eldar. They actually discovered that, putting real armor on their ships prevents them from dying. Miracles, I know. It's almost like they're millions of years older than humanity, and they only figured this shit out recently. And, of course, no turrets. Now, this is the next gimmick of the Craft World Eldar. You pick your weapon systems. You pick one prow and one keel weapon system. You have the choice of a Strength 8 weapons battery or a prow Strength 2 pulsar lance, both 30 centimeters out the front. You have, as for the keel, a Strength 2 launch capacity for Nightwings and Phoenix bombers, or a Strength 4 keel torpedo. You have options in this fleet. And you'll find when I go onto the Dark Eldar that this is very similar in that regard because the Dark Eldar are all customizable as well. So you have to pick one prow and one keel option for each wraith ship in the fleet as part of its point cost. So these are effectively free. It's all wrapped up into the point cost. Now, what's the better option? Now, in my experience, and I am subjective in this regard, the combination Pulsar Lance Torpedo is probably the best bet. It is effectively a bigger, heavier Aurora and much harder to kill in that regard. I have seen to very excellent effect the weapons batteries being used, but a launch capacity 2 just really doesn't cut the mustard, in my opinion, for effectiveness. The ship is already expensive enough as is, and there are better options for launch bays. So the Wraith ship effectively takes the position of your standard Eldar cruiser. It is what you will be taking the majority of in your Eldar fleets. They are very flexible in the regard of how you build them, but they are what you will be relying on because as you'll find, the larger ships are much harder to take, even if their firepower is significantly greater. All right, thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you all again soon.